called the investment sector. All right? Now, I've restructured the profit and loss. Now, you've got, when you change the banking system, you don't have income from interest earned, and you don't have the cost of interest money borrowed. What you have is a 1% storage fee I've used, commissions, for the gross income, other income. The gross income is 43. We take half the operating costs and depreciation costs, and that leaves us with a net income from the check account sector of $3.5 million more or less. In the investment sector, we've got $4,754,000 being managed at 2% per annum. That's $95 million. And then you take half the overheads and running costs out of that, and you're left with $59 million. And the total of $3,059,000 is 63. So, but last year, in fact, the banks only earned 30. So there's an excess profit of 33. The banks double their profits under this system. That's interesting. And the government saves $30 million in interest on the other page, on the treasuries that they bought back. Once this is done, the Bahamian banks would then be 100% free from risk and 100% free from moral hazard. The Bahamian banks would then be fully safe whatever happened to the banking system in the rest of the world. The Bahamian banking system can then continue for centuries. And in addition, the government will have saved $30 million per year, and the banking sector would have increased its profits by $33 million. These are all pretty positive changes, I think, and it makes it well worth considering. So the investment sector is the next question. It will have to be completely separate from the check account sector. And then they'll have to offer all manner of funds, just like any other bank here, like Fidelity or anyone else, and they'll have to compete in the market. And they're going to have to run their funds rather well. But that's fine. At the moment, banks are restricted to lending, and as investment managers, they'll need to be given wider options to compete with other investment managers. But they'll have to be able to make equity investments, and bank regulations can quite easily be changed accordingly. So the funds they operate will seek investment in local communities, as Bahamian banks always have. Some of these funds will seek investments in Bahamian startup companies, others will seek investments in Bahamian growth companies, others will focus on income-producing investments, others will seek investments in housing stock or commercial property. As a depositor, you should have a wealth of choices for the money on which you don't wish to pay storage charges. Now, those seeking money for their business will also have a greater choice than they have now. Rather than borrowing money, they'll be able to offer shares in their businesses, and they could offer both ordinary shares and preference shares. The shares offered can be voting or non-voting for those who wish to retain full control of their businesses. And preference shares can carry a fixed rate dividend payable before ordinary shareholders. Preference shares also have first claim on all the assets of the company. In these two respects, they're quite like a loan, except preference shares need not be repayable. They can be redeemable or non-redeemable. So the money can remain in the company for other uses. Loans, on the other hand, must be repaid. So, housing finance will continue through funds established for that purpose. Some will continue to offer mortgages. But if a homeowner fails to make payments and foreclosure occurs, any loss will be borne by investors in that particular fund alone. There will be no lender of last resort. The banking system will not be on the hook. Your deposits will not be at risk. And when all the money in the fund has been invested, the fund will not be able to make new investments until more money is raised. So other forms of housing finance will develop to fill the demand for more housing finance. We may well see programs develop along the lines of the many shared ownership programs which now exist around the world. Car dealers may well operate their own leasing companies as they used to. Shops may offer customers credit in a variety of ways. Some may return to programs of accepting deposits and setting items aside until they've been fully paid, and then they can be collected. New and vibrant markets will emerge so long as there are no restrictions on such development. These markets will be driven by the desire on the one hand of everyone to minimize the cost of storing money, and on the other hand, the need for money to develop and expand business activity. These new markets can then drive the economy of the Bahamas to new and unseen heights. I don't think I need to summarize. I've got it written here, but I don't think we need it. All of the above is achievable if we can encourage the government to pass legislation to return title of their deposits to depositors. Once this is accomplished and the banks are fully protected, we will still have to remain vigilant and proactive to ensure that an open and free market is developed and maintained for the remaining economic developments to occur. But achieving a fully free market, as I said earlier, is a discussion for another time. Do you have any questions?
The National Institute would like to thank Mr. Tomlinson by presenting you with this book from Lawrence Reed.
Oh, very kind.
And thanks for bringing to the attention of the National Institute on the Bahamas this important subject of honest money and some money.
Thank you so much.